You want your rally gauge to look like this. This is part one. We got them looking this good. I got the rust cleaned out of them. They definitely look respectable and legible, but you want to go from looking like this to this for just less than $1.50? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, back at it again, the old Firebird Restoration Station. I got Firebird parts parked everywhere. I got cars parked on the side. So anything is going to happen here in this garage work on these old Firebirds. The last time around, you might have remembered me taking this thing here and submerging it in some liquid, some Rust-Oleum stuff. And look at that. It actually is legible and it would probably be respectable in a car. But I'm going to try going one step further. This, well, of course, another one of these super budget things because I hate spending money because, well, I'm not made of money and I'm trying to do this stuff on a reasonable budget but still have high quality results. That's the goal here. So I got a crazy idea brewing in my head. Follow me out here. Now, this may be something that you can't do, but follow along at the end. I may be able to offer you up a really cheap solution. You can do yourself just the same. Of course, if you guys didn't notice this time, last year I found this little pull tab on this car. I just couldn't bring myself to throw that away because I've already ruined the fun. Some of you may have no idea what this thing is, but anyway, it's just kind of hanging out here on the car. Like I said, we fixed this up last time around. Now, this is on loan to me. This is not mine. And you don't necessarily have to buy one because it'd be as simple as this then, John. If you bought this, then, hey, problem solved. You don't need this anymore. Well, I have this on loan because, like I said, I got an idea brewing in my head. Now, one thing I kind of looked at here, you know something kind of funny about the word fuel on this little thing? These things aren't cheap, but I'm kind of wondering if that was some kind of an error because look carefully here. The word fuel is nice and centered, and, well, not so much on that one. It's kind of going over this way. But anyway, I don't care about that. That's not my problem that I'm worried about. I'm going to take this one partially apart. Then what we're actually going to technically do, make it real super sweet and simple. I got a tape measure here for keeping the scale proper, but we're just going to take a picture of it. Simple as that. We're going to take a picture of it, high definition, go print the picture out, cut out some little inserts, put in here, and see if we can't duplicate that in a picture to restore the face of this gauge. So first things first, I'm going to pop these two screws out and then these two screws out to get a better look. Okay, got that little cover off. Now looking at the gauges here, it's pretty self-explanatory. I can flip this off to the side. Put that one about like that and that one about like that. So when I take the picture, they won't show up in the picture. Now the only thing I'm learning here, check this one out. Nope. Nope. So I'm going to have to find some way to keep that thing positioned out of the way to get a nice clean picture because I don't want an orange needle in the picture. I want just to be able to see a nice clean D and the C and the little line. So probably I think it was like some electrical tape or something like that. It's kind of put a little piece of tape on it to kind of keep it held out of the way. So then you can imagine it'll actually look like show up nice in the picture. So let me go grab some tape. I'll be right back. There we go. A little tape here action. Got it taped out of the way. I think that's going to work because it's just this is what's visible once it's all together, so that will be up out of sight by the time I get the picture taken, hopefully. So the other thing is, why the tape measure? You may be asking yourself. Well, here's the problem. You take a picture on your camera, well, you lose scale, right? Now, a picture, you can print it out as a 5x7. This is about 4¼ inches tall, so I'm taking a 5x7 picture. So what I can do is I can take a nice clean picture, and then I can zoom in and out and get this where this dimension reads 5 inches on the tape measure, and that should hopefully get things into scale. So let's get this thing set up and I'll show you what I mean. There we go, check this out. I got the tape measure here. Let's say number 2 is kind of like the bottom of the gauge here. So we know about a 5x7 photo. Let's move this away a little bit. Then if I can go 5 inches, so 2 and 7 is a 5-inch tall photo. So if you can see if I zoom in here, basically, get the 7 touching there, and then the 2 touching there. There we go. And then if I get my photo and get ready to print it, that edge of the photo is here. And here, I know this is now 5 inches in real life. So hopefully it translates to the proper scale. So like I said, it's kind of a crazy idea. But now we got to get a picture without shadows in it. So I'll have to get my lights or move some lights around. But let me take a couple snapshots here, but see if I can't capture the image right, and we'll see what we can do from there. Right, follow me here. Now, this is the picture. Check this out. See this picture here? See the top and the bottom? I've got it zoomed in where the 5 inch of the 5x7 photo is that dimension. So you see the bottom mark is at about the 2, and the top is at the 7. So when I print this out at, let's say, Walgreens or CVS, where I go plug this little camera in and they'll go boop, and they'll print that thing out. I can then take a tape measure and check the scale. If that 1 inch on that tape measure still lines up, I should be to scale. And the other thing about these cameras, if you check it out when you're doing it, it actually can give you like this crosshair, whether you're level on all dimensions, your X and your Y axis, so you don't get that weird, three-dimensional like things kind of creeping off in the distance. So I did level the gauge up before I took a picture, level the camera best I could, and this is gonna hopefully get me an accurate picture. So I'm running to Walgreens, I'll be right back. All right, check this out. Now, instead of doing the picture-in-picture stuff, this is an actual photograph. That looks better, doesn't it? Now, what we're gonna do, I said I got the tape measure here just on the outer edge. I'm gonna lay this on the car here. I'll lay out the tape measure here right beside it. Then we can check our scale and see how close we are or are not. So I got a picture of the tape measure. Doesn't matter which inch you go for. Let's just go line up with the 4 here again. Check that out. I will say we are proper to scale. Those things line up right on the money. I know, super low tech. I'm not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but so far, so good. Now, all I gotta do now, essentially, is just cut the picture out. I may cut the needles out, getting kind of glowing orange out of the way, but let me get the proper tools right here. This will work great. So give me a few minutes here. I'm gonna get one of these snipped out, and I'll take that cover off and see how this is gonna look. Anyway, I didn't really get flying colors or passing for cutting things out, staying between the lines, but you get the idea. This is now cut out. Now you can see how rusty, busted, and sad that thing looks. Definite improvement what we started with, but check this out. We slide this bad boy in here. Now, if I actually like this, I'll probably find a way to glue it into place, but now just tucking it in, nice friction fit, actually. Look at that. That actually has a nice little pop to it. So let's imagine now if you kind of before, those gauges look kind of cruddy, but like I said, we just cut that thing out, but check that out. That looks pretty good. So I'll go ahead and bang out these other ones here, but I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking this is going to be a cheap thing. That thing cost me $1.50 to have that thing printed out, but look at the results. This isn't bad, but that looks really nice. So again, give me a few more minutes. I'll get these ones cut out and do just the same thing. Now, I suppose this is what the reproduction one looks like. I said, it looks pretty nice, but one last look. Check this bad boy out right here. Of course, I got some shadows from the camera, but you get the idea. That is very legible. Looks pretty good. I said I need to probably glue those down if I wanted to make it permanent, but I think I want to paint the needles a bright orange again before I put it together that way. But I'm telling you, I think I really like it. And it's super cheap. That's my favorite part about the whole ordeal. Right, now keep in mind, this is for a 1968 Firebird. It's a little something to keep in mind. These backgrounds on these, this is kind of a bluish, grayish color with the white lettering in 68. Now 67 looks the same and pretty much all plugs in and wires in the same, but the background is actually black and then the lettering is kind of a greenish, bluish tint to it. So you could probably use the picture and get some pretty good results. Definitely a lot better than rust, but what I'm going to do even better, because I was fortunate, my buddy Louie had this sitting on his shelf in his garage, and he put it in a box just for me to take pictures and play with and torture it and turn it into what I have here for you. So, of course, if you bought one of these, there's no reason why to fix what you got, right? Well, that's why I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do you one better. I don't expect you to have that. If you'd like to have this picture that I used, hit me up in the comments. Let me know. I will mail a copy I guess email it to you, or I could even probably text you the picture. You go to Walgreens or someplace, get that photo print it out, and you can cut it out and make your own background for your own gauges, so when it's all said and done, they look like this. I mean, check this thing out. I'm telling you, that looks really nice now for basically $1.50 for a photo. So as for durability, I have no idea how long it's going to last, but it's definitely better than the rust. And then, of course, another $1.50, print you another picture. You got it on file. So, of course, next go around, I think what I'd like to, someone asked me to do, how do I, of course, you find these rusty relics like this, right? I fix the gauges, looks beautiful, but do they work? Well, I'm going to do a video on how to test the gauges before installing them into your car. So I'm going to work on getting that put together. That'll be another video for another day, as I like to say. But in the meantime, keep in mind, I've got Firebird stuff everywhere in here in the garage. I've got the great pumpkin going back together. You know, like I said, cars on their side, perfectly normal here in this garage. I've got the engine, transmission ready to go. Got the subframe right back there, all painted and pretty. That video will be coming out here soon, too. So plenty of bird footage. And, of course, if you'd like to see anything of the process of building these cars bumper to bumper in a two-car garage, let me know. I'll make sure I get that video out to you as soon as I can. You know, within reason. I'm trying to do it in order, but I definitely write it on my board, and I'll get you taken care of as soon as you possibly can. And of course, you want to buy some t-shirts, look down here below. Got all kinds of different flavors, colors, and sizes. Check them out. Please help us out. A little support for the channel. And of course, wearing it, tell your friends. Of course, appreciate you following me on the journey here. Nonetheless, I want to wrap this thing up because it's super, super dark out, but I promised you it's only 8 o'clock. But nonetheless, it's Sunday evening. It's bedtime. I'm going to give me some sleep. Until next time, grab the camera. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you then.